Welcome back to Genzinsights. I'm Glenn. Today we're going to be breaking down the matchup between the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Lakers for the upcoming season. I've said it before in my videos if you watched. I do believe that these are the two best teams head and shoulders above the rest of the pack, and I think that if this could be the potential finals matchup, it would be the most or one of the most legendary finals matchups in history. I'm very excited to see if it can happen. Make sure to like this video if you're new. Make sure to subscribe as well. I'm trying to grow this channel immensely. Please share it with any of your friends or family. Please help make this channel a great one. Also, please comment below what you think about my matchup breakdown. Let me know what you think, and let me know who you think the best team out of these two are. Let me know, and I'll comment back to you in the comment section below. But let's go ahead and get right into the video here. I did go ahead and I made a presentation for today's video. So just want to start it with, the Genzinsights breakdown, Nets versus Lakers. Obviously, it's the, three All-Stars versus three All-Stars, three Superstars versus three Superstars. You really haven't seen this matchup too many times in history. I guess you could say the Heat, the Celtics. You could say the Warriors, Cavs. There's a few others out there as well. But these are all, three superstars that are currently superstars still. I don't know if that's happened in history, so I'm very excited to see if this matchup happens. But first here, I just wanted to show you guys, the head-to-head matchups to anticipate, whether that's going to be on Christmas Day. I believe they play again on Martin Luther King Day, and if they meet up in the finals. LeBron James versus Kyrie Irving is number one. I think that's a huge game, a huge matchup right there. They obviously played together in Cleveland. Kyrie asked out for a trade for no apparent reason. He said he wanted to be the leader of the team, but then he goes and joins up with KD, and then they trade for Harden, and now he's kind of the third wheel. He's the second as far as scoring, but he's the third most impactful player. But Kyrie is absolutely amazing. If they did meet in the finals, I could see Kyrie going for 40 or 50 points and winning a game and making ridiculous shots over every player the Lakers throw at him. Obviously, LeBron James is one of the best players ever, but he wants to prove that he's better than Kyrie, he's better than KD, he's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time, and that's just a great matchup to look at. If you've watched them play before, they always go at it. Kyrie even guards LeBron occasionally, and vice versa. But for number two, we have Russell Westbrook versus Kevin Durant, and obviously, if you've kept along their careers, obviously with KD leaving to go to the Warriors, after that, every single time that Russell Westbrook then played KD, you could just see the violence, the viciousness that came out of him. And, Westbrook has put numbers up against KD since he left him. Even last year, whenever he hit that game-winning shot, I believe in overtime on the Wizards against the Nets, he's always coming up big against KD, and that's very exciting to see. But obviously, KD, he's one of the greatest generational talents we've ever seen. And he plays very well against Westbrook as well, and he wants to prove he's a better player. And if they made up, he wants to prove that he was the problem why he didn't win. And then obviously we have Westbrook versus Harden. They didn't play too much against each other this year with James Harden being traded and stuff. But they're going to want to go head to head as well. Playing in Houston together and it not working, they both want to prove to each other. They're friends. They want to prove, hey, I'm better than you, or vice versa. But then we have some role player matchups to look forward to. Blake Griffin, Carmelo Anthony, both play the four, both going to come off the bench. Blake Griffin gives you more athleticism. Carmelo gives you better shooting, more efficient, more scoring, and maybe not as efficient. I can see these guys both battling it out and probably putting similar stats. I would give Carmelo a slight edge, but I could always see Blake Griffin coming out in a playoff game and hitting 4 or 5 threes, 4 for 4, 5 for 5, something crazy like that. And then we have LaMarcus Aldridge for Dwight Howard. First off, I do want to say shout out to Aldridge. I'm glad that he is healthy. I'm glad he's been cleared to play. I hate to hear any player going through any injury or medical problems. That's terrible to hear. I hope and pray for the best for everyone in the world, and especially people who are, if you're putting your life out there on the line, I don't want anything bad to ever happen to him. So shout outs to him. But him and Dwight Howard will probably both be the fives coming off the bench, or they both might be starting depending on the matchup, especially if they're playing each other. LaMarcus Aldridge is a better scorer, better shooter. He's a very good player. I actually really like Aldridge, especially if he's healthy and mentally fit. And then Dwight Howard, I really like his, defensive presence. I do think he's a better defender than Aldridge, a better rim protector, a better defender overall, but I think it's a very close matchup. I'd probably give us obviously just an edge to offense, so Aldridge, and defense Dwight, but they could do both as well. Dwight's also a big, alley-oop presence, finishing at the rim, etc. So they're very evenly matched down the depth chart, and you'll see that more as we get into it. So I just put the important role players, the new additions for both teams. Let's just start off with the Nets. They got Patty Mills. That's a big one. I actually really wanted Patty Mills, and to be honest, I really wanted the Lakers to get Patty Mills. I would have rather, if I'm either team, I'd rather have Patty Mills than Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn's a great player. He could show a lot of greatness, maybe better on defensive end, and possibly an up and coming player that succeeds Patty Mills. We'll have to see. But I just feel like Patty Mills is a better, more consistent shooter. He can play make a little bit better. I feel like, and he's a consistent sixth man, and I think that's a great pickup. Paul Millsap was another great addition the Nets made for the Lakers. I think they should have went out Paul Millsap as well. He can play a 5-man as a small ball offensive lineup. That's something that the Lakers really don't have. I guess they do have it with AD, which is one of the biggest X factors in this matchup because Paul Millsap can't guard AD, or he shouldn't be able to if AD's playing his best. But I love that Paul Millsap addition. If the Lakers could have got him, put AD at the 4, I would have loved that. Then we have LaMarcus Aldridge. We've already talked about him. Bruce Brown, great defender, young player. That's great depth to have. Blake Griffin, we've talked about him. And then Claxton, and then Harris. I like Claxton too, another younger up and coming player, a good player, did well for them last year in spots. And then Harris, a great 3-point shooter. He didn't shoot the ball too great in the playoffs last year, but he's a tremendous shooter, 3-point champion in the All-Star 3-point contest, and I expect him to bounce back and be a lot better this year. So they have 2 snipers, and Patty Mills Harris plus Blake Griffin can shoot 3, so can Millsap and Aldridge, and Bruce Brown I believe can too. And then for the Lakers, we have Kendrick Nunn. I really like his upside, but we'll have to see how he plays. But I think he'll be impactful. Malik Monk, we'll have to see as well. He could fall out of the rotation or he could be a starting piece. Shot the ball well, 40% last year. I'm not sure if he's going to shoot that well again, but he can also create off the dribble. I just think he needs to get better defensive end. THT, young player, got paid a lot of money, $10 million. I think he could be very impactful, but he has to, bring up his 3-point shooting. Ellington, great 3-point shooter, but not a very good defender. Riza, an average shooter from 3, average, maybe a slightly above average defender. I like Ariza coming off the bench guarding, some wing players. Howard, I really do like his fit and his role. Rondo could come in spots. He has chemistry with Dwight Howard, AD, LeBron. He could for sure make an impact in the playoffs and, be a piece that really helps. If he shoots the ball 41% like he did in the championship run with the Lakers before, that could cause a lot of problems. Bazemore, a good 3-point shooter, decent to average defender. I like him. I think he'll get some good minutes and he'll make some big shots for us. And Carmelo as well. I think he'll make some of the biggest role-playing shots for us. I think he's clutch. I think he'll be in some of the games later when the game is closing. I think he could fit into that 4 spot, just spotted up shooting, waiting for Russell or LeBron to kick out. I think overall, they both have great depth from top to bottom. They're, like I said, I think they're the best 2 teams by far. But I do like the Nets bench a little bit more with having Patty Mills, Paul Millsap, and LaMarcus Aldridge to go with Harris and Blake Griffin. With the Lakers, you don't really know who for sure is in that lineup yet. But once they get it and once they have chemistry, that could all change. You could look at the Lakers a lot differently. So whose big 3 is better? KD, Harden, Kyrie, or LeBron, AD, Westbrook? And just to be completely honest, non-biased at all, I would say right now the Nets' big 3 is better. I do think that they have more chemistry. That plays a huge factor. They showed, when they played together, they were the best team by far last year. And I just think because we've already seen it and we don't know what the Lakers will be, that it makes it easy to say, the Nets team is better. But I think that they can shoot better. They can all shoot better than every single player on their team can shoot better than every single player on the Lakers team. Every single player can create off the dribble better than every other player, better handles. The only difference is AD is a better defender. I think LeBron's a better defender, even than KD. And I think Westbrook might be a better defender than Kyrie just because he's bigger. If he play, sometimes Russell Westbrook doesn't play defense, and if he really does, I think he could be a better defender than them. So defense, I think we have that on lock. I think the Lakers have it on lock, but I think the Nets, I think we definitely have the best offense. So the Nets have the best offense, the Lakers have the best defense. Overall, I just think it fits better. They hit very tough shots, tougher shots than the Lakers, I believe. So overall, I do like the Nets big three better. But let me know what you guys think below. Am I wrong here? We'll have to see. Once we see the Lakers, it'll be a lot easier to be able to tell who is better and who's not. But you might have to give it some time too. So, but we're just going to have to see them on the court before we can really say they're better than the Nets. Whose roster is going to be better going into the 2022 NBA season? I wrote here, I do believe the Brooklyn Nets are a better constructed roster. Like I said, they have more chemistry, and I think they'll be the best regular season team of the whole entire year, barring injury. I think they have what it takes. They have the talent, even with just two of their players, with KD and Harden, or Harden and Kyrie. They were beating everybody. They beat the Lakers. I don't know if they had AD, but they beat the Lakers. No, they didn't have AD, but they beat the Lakers with just Harden and Kyrie by a lot. They put on a show. Kyrie and Harden are two of the toughest shot makers ever, two of the best scorers ever, and then you have KD, probably the best scorer ever. On that roster as well. It's insane. So I do believe the Nets going into the season have the better team and will have the better regular season and the better record to end the season. And who will be better in the playoffs? I want to let you guys know. You guys are going to have to wait and see. So if you like these videos, keep coming back, keep checking the channel. I will let you know what my playoff predictions will be, but I have to watch the entire season, or at least most of the season, to be able to let you guys know when to give a correct and valuable prediction. But I want you guys to keep following me. I'm going to be doing updates, reaction videos, schedule predictions, all kinds of videos all about the NBA season. If there's anything in particular you want to watch, please let me know. Comment it down below. I'll definitely check it out, and I'd love to have some ideas to do and videos to make for you guys. But yeah, just keep checking with the channel. I'm going to give my official playoff prediction at the end of the year. But before you guys go, I do just have one last just little slide here. It's a Genzinsights, just hypothetical here. So I'm asking you guys this question. Who would you take? Would you take KD, Westbrook, and Kyrie? Or would you take LeBron, AD, and Harden? That's a very tough one. Let me know below. Me personally, I think Harden is an easier fit than Westbrook, because Harden can go full facilitator mode, or he could go full just scoring mode. In my opinion, Genzinsights' opinion, I would take LeBron, AD, and Harden. And that's because I just believe it would be a better fit. Like I said, Harden can facilitate for LeBron or AD, or LeBron can facilitate for AD and Harden. Westbrook can facilitate for Kyrie and KD, but it's not going to be the same level. And then you still have the defensive side of the ball for the LeBron-led team. I just think that would be a better matchup for the Lakers if that was the case. But yeah, other than that, that was the very last slide I had ready. But I really appreciate you guys